cold, Addy?
No, I'm laughing.
No, but I meant because you're...
Oh, I want them to know I'm pregnant and not fat.
Oh.
So
and that's the intro, folks.
They look like Santa Claus.
That could be a quote, though.
It could be a quote. It could be an intro. We have a lot of material here for an intro.
Absolutely.
Can we actually get started?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the subject
matter. I'm your host, Stephen Jenkins.
Here with your co-host, Jonathan Dayton.
Yeah.
I know his... And junior host, Addy Dayton. Not special guest because she's not really a special guest because we have her all the time.
Yeah.
I'm extra special.
Addy, yeah.
Extra special guest, Addy Dayton. We're experts in nothing, here to give you our thoughts and opinions on all of it. So, we're going to talk tonight about the rest of the year.
It's
more
already...
specifically, the fact that as of the date that this airs, it will be 2 days before Halloween. And, which means the holiday season is officially starting, because even if you don't think that Christmas time starts in November, which I'm sort of on the fence personally. But if you don't think that, it at the very least does start Thanksgiving time, which is another holiday. So it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, if you count that. That's kind of just overshadowing Thanksgiving at this point. And then, of course, all the December stuff. So, we're going to talk about some of that, our favorites, things. We'll kick it off real simply with what, and this is very specific, what is your favorite season? Ooh. Overall season. Of the four, easy to choose from. What is your favorite season, Jonathan?
Fall.
Same. I'm going to go with fall as well.
Fall.
So we're all going
unbeatable.
Fall. Yeah, it's unbeatable
we're an expert
for a variety of reasons. But I think, the one thing that we can all agree on maybe is that temperature is one of those reasons.
Today was a perfect example.
And I'm not wearing a sweatshirt, and I should be wearing a sweatshirt because it is fall.
Yes. Agreed.
We have the vibe.
Yes. As far as the temperature goes, I completely agree with that. I mean, spring, you could argue, has similar temperatures.
Yeah, but there's a lot of rain.
There's a lot of rain, leads into summer, which is just always too hot for me personally.
And there's not leaves.
And,
no leaves.
I will say that fall, I mean, every season has the ability to be very beautiful.
Yeah.
Summer, I think, is the least for me, just personally, because I think the fall leaves are wonderful. As terrible it is to drive in, winter when it's beautiful with ice and stuff can look really amazing. And then I think spring is a little slept on with
what's very pretty,
budding trees and that sort of atmosphere.
I think it's different for us for a couple reasons, but I think the main reason is we do see 4 seasons here in Maryland.
This is true.
Where we're located.
Sometimes in 1 month.
Up north, sometimes in 1 month.
That's also true.
Down south or somewhere where it's warm, you don't necessarily see 4 distinct seasons like we do. And so we have something to kind of compare to compared to other places and states that can't really compare. Or only have like 1 or 2 seasons to compare to.
Wait, I have a question on this. This is a serious question.
Yes.
So if
Ryan Reynolds does not.
I know. I can almost bet where the question is going to go to. I'm just waiting for her to ask it.
No, you're going to be shocked. This is a very logical question. Okay. If spring is like the budding of new life, would fall be like the trees dying even though they are still alive?
Technically the trees are. I mean, the leaves are dying.
So it's the death of leaves.
They're losing their color. Yeah. They're losing their. Well, technically they're losing their unnatural color because technically leaves colors in the fall are their natural colors.
Because of photosynthesis.
We'll go with that. But
sure.
Technically
speaking,
it's a lack of photosynthesis in a way. I think is more.
Yes.
So I said a correct word.
But you said photosynthesis correctly, so we'll go with that.
That's a win.
But yeah, no, I think it is technically death, but I don't see it as that. It fits spooky season.
It does.
Sure.
Halloween, yeah.
And I just enjoy flannel weather. I enjoy sitting down with a bowl of soup and a cup of coffee or hot chocolate or whatever. things in the seasonal things that you see in fall to me just represent that more, and it leads directly into this is a specification I have to make that my favorite time of year, while fall is my favorite season, my favorite time of year is that period between November and December, because Christmas is 100% my favorite holiday.
Amen.
Christmas time is my favorite time of year.
Don't act like you're the same. You're a Grinch.
Go what?
No, I was
We're Cindy Lou Who.
I will defend Jonathan.
Hold on.
That we're a little crazy, and he's at a manageable level of Christmas.
So
enjoyment.
Christmas is my favorite holiday. However, I am not as, crazy about it as these two. But
we're not crazy. We're actually insane.
Insane. That's true. I think though, for me, I say I wait till Thanksgiving to really start the season of Christmas and decorating and all the stuff that comes along with it. Where these two could decorate probably in the springtime through summer and into Christmas and be okay.
I actually don't think we could. It might ruin the magic.
I couldn't because it would ruin the magic.
Exaggeration. However,
it's not as much of an exaggeration as you think, and I'll get to that in a second. But I'll let you finish.
However, what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by these two was that I feel that I think that for me, I'm so busy, and the fact that things kind of fly by that when I see stuff in the store and it's not quite that time yet, I feel like I'm moving too quickly, and I'm rushed.
That I agree with.
And I'm like, that just bugs me, but that's me personally. That's why I like to wait till it's actually closer till Christmas to actually start decorating for Christmas.
I agree that I get tired of seeing, and this isn't even an exaggeration, I get tired of seeing Christmas decorations put out in July.
That's a little early.
Areas. And I completely get that. That annoys me too, because it reminds me that it's not Christmas yet, and it won't be Christmas for another half a year. So we probably dislike it for different reasons.
Where did the Christmas in July stuff come from? Do we know?
I don't know. If you have that answer, please.
Yeah,
leave it down in the
why?
comments
I've never actually thought of it.
I never thought of that either. It just happens.
I mean, because you would think it's 6 months since Christmas and 6 months, but that'd be in June, not July.
June. It'd be I don't know. I truly don't know the reason why.
Rhyme nicely.
Yeah, Christmas
in
July.
It's
not
there's
even,
no ring to that at all.
It's just like Santa swimming, and I don't get that.
But Santa's swimming. There's Christmas trees up. There's Christmas sales at stores.
That to me is fake Christmas. I'm like a real heart Christmas person.
I agree, but
yeah, it doesn't feel like actual Christmas. I need cool weather for it.
I'm just kind of confused where that came from.
I will say, I have no idea. I will say, to your point about decorating early,
yes.
I started, and this is sort of in the discussion as to whether or not November is Christmas time, and I have people that I know who feel very strongly about this, one way or the other, and I'm sort of in between. I say, if you want to start doing Christmas stuff in November, go for it, but don't shove it down anybody else's throat who wants to wait and savor it a little bit. Likewise, if you're somebody who wants to wait, don't bash on other people for wanting to celebrate a little bit early. That's kind of where I'm at. The last 2 years, I've started a little bit early going in November. For me, it was okay for the time, but I felt like by the time December rolled around, I was like, oh, well, now it wore off its magic, like he said, a little bit. To an extent, you kind of get it back there towards the end when actually Christmas rolls around. But I am aiming this year for middle to late November, and then take a quick break for Thanksgiving, which we'll get to. Here's my thing. As soon as January hits, I go into, not withdrawal. What's the opposite of withdrawal? I don't need Christmas at all.
Declutter.
And it's so foreign and alien to me. I just don't care about it anymore. And then usually around a certain month, I start to be like, oh, I could go for Christmas again. And I'll let you guess what month that is.
March.
100% correct. It's actually March. I've noticed the last 3 years.
So we need Christmas in March from now
Christmas
on.
in March would be a far better time because there's enough to get rid of it before it comes back around, and it satiates the it's not Christmas anymore blues.
But I would, kind of, I have different thoughts on that. I'm the opposite. When I said that I don't like to have it early, that's true, but I'll be one to drag it on a little bit later after Christmas.
Fair enough.
I feel like especially with our gifts, I feel like we're still very much kids at heart at Christmas.
Well, my gifts stay out for
forever.
Months. It'll be February.
They're
and
new
it still
decoration.
Reminds me of Christmas. And a tree doesn't come down until February because A, we're too lazy and we forget.
That's me. I just procrastinate.
and
This
B,
year
we're
that's gonna
too lazy and we
change.
forget.
Right, yeah.
And so, that kind of makes it drag on. And that doesn't bother me as much as it does when people decorate early. That bothers me more. Addy?
To me, it just leaving decorations up late just kind of. It's like no, but it's not real. Nothing.
No.
There's nothing left after this. There's no. It's over. It's gonna be a whole year, and I don't know quite what that's about. But
I really
did
shouted
you
to
have a
you,
thought to-
but I was tossing it over to you because I was hoping you had some comments about our
that's
house.
Well, I think this year's just going to be very different for us with a baby on the way.
True, that's true.
So
That's very
I have
true.
a feeling. Also,
Yeah.
I feel like it's our last year to decorate with like ornaments and stuff on the bottom of our tree, so we're gonna soak it up. So
They'll
I
barely be
awesome.
walking. They'll be like
9 months old.
they'll be waddling, but they could waddle
10.
between 9 and
if it's in
between 9 and
February, it'd be around 10.
between 9 and a year. They
Our
start
child
to
will be
run,
destructive by next December.
Just get a
walk,
fence.
and
That's a good idea. I've
Get a
seen this
Christmas
like
fence. Yeah,
yeah,
Christmas fence.
or
So
hang it from the
decorate.
tree.
Huh?
I mean,
Hang it from the tree. Hang
Reverse.
it upside down.
yes.
I have an upside down tree. It's my pride and joy
Woo.
because me and my dad made it, and it's impressive. I have a new layout in my apartment though, so I'll have to figure out.
So how
how
many
to
trees
put
do you
that.
have, Steven?
Wait, before you
We
say
answered
that.
this question.
I
on
have an
a previous
idea for you.
podcast.
When you have a
Okay.
home, how fun would it be to have half
Oh,
the
my.
tree coming from the ceiling and half from the roof?
You-
Like,
you-
not put a hole in it. You know what I mean, though.
No, I'm aware.
Okay.
I would
wouldn't it
just
be
put a hole in it.
the
and
tree,
actually
the
have a
house.
tree. Yeah, sure, go for it.
Chuda. Why are we not married? I mean,
No,
there's
no,
lots
no.
of reasons, but
No.
Christmas time we could be.
I can name you a very long list of reasons why Steven wouldn't marry you.
Yeah.
But
and
in
vice versa.
December, I'm delightful.
We're just gonna move past that. I would say I would sooner put it through a wall to wall,
Oh.
where there's half
The
a
roof.
tree, vertical line down the tree. Inside part of the wall, you go into the other room and it's coming out that side.
That's an even better idea.
You're right, because I've thought about this before and I've already
that's
been down that road.
awesome.
There's a lot of Christmas talk here, and there's a couple of things we might circle back to in a second, but we're glossing over one very important holiday that does quite often get overshadowed by Black Friday and Christmas, and that's Thanksgiving, which
Oh.
after Halloween will be the next holiday on our list, even before Christmas. So what is something that you...
Wait, we
love
can't go to
about
Thanksgiving yet. Pause. You gotta say your favorite part of Halloween.
Huh?
What's your favorite part of Halloween? Then we'll go to Thanksgiving. Even
Favorite
if you
part?
don't like do Halloween,
Fair
there's
enough,
gotta be
fair enough.
something.
I never really celebrated Halloween growing up that much, so recently I've just enjoyed the last couple of years. I've been invited to some parties and just hanging out.
I concur. I mean, I always like, I like giving candy out to trick-or-treaters versus actually receiving it. Same thing like giving gifts versus receiving. So that was always fun for me.
I never really did costumes growing up, and I enjoy...
I did a couple. but
I enjoy costumes, just like pretending to be somebody else. I like acting.
I do
and all
not.
that, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
I do not.
It does not.
I
surprise
will
me
tell
at all.
you though, I do have a favorite costume, growing up, and it was around I think middle school that we had this party. And do you have any guesses on what that costume was? It was a food item.
Is it a food item?
Yeah, I don't. Addie probably knows, but maybe forget. Maybe knows.
Corn.
No.
Taco.
Yep. I was
Mm.
taco. Hard shell Mexican taco with a sombrero. Favorite costume, hands down, all time. Loved it.
I have no comment on that. That makes sense
Married
to
to
me.
the Halloween Grinch. Anyway,
Loved it. I wasn't a Grinch. I liked the costume.
He's talking about how he likes a costume.
but
But-
I wish now you got as much into
But
it.
after
If you showed up as a taco, I'd be
like
happy.
middle school,
No, it's still fun.
nah.
I think my
Maybe not
favorite
for him.
is our fire station just trunk or treat, and I've
Yeah,
got
it's
to
fun.
take it over. And he does like fire prevention, and I just get to see all my favorite children.
Good. Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Any favorite Thanksgiving traditions? And I'm gonna stipulate this that don't directly involve Black Friday. That's a stipulation that's hard for me too. That don't directly involve Black Friday.
It doesn't involve Black Friday.
Yes. Now I'm talking like we all probably go to a family member's house and we have a nice big meal. So like, is there anything specific within that? And I have one. I have one now.
Pre-Thanksgiving trip to Costco.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So the last couple of years, Jonathan, Addy, some conglomeration of our friends and I have gone to Costco.
Have we ever told the story?
Yes, we have.
We've told the
Okay.
TV story many times,
Zone back.
which I'm sure we'll tell at some point as we get closer to Black Friday. But yeah, so that's a pretty fun trip. We usually do it the day before Thanksgiving. So like a Thanksgiving Eve is why that's related specifically, because it's not Black Friday. There are no sales yet.
Topgolf,
It's
Costco, mall.
Yep, it's pretty fun.
And the food.
Addie?
I think my favorite Thanksgiving tradition was when my great grandma was alive. She would make Thanksgiving cucumbers, which is not a real thing.
Okay.
They're just like those creamy cucumbers, but she'd
that
throw
sounds so good.
Thanksgiving in front of it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And
Which automatically makes it better.
yeah. And like if you were thankful, you had to eat a bite, even if they were disgusting. But it was something like
Then you say you're not thankful.
no.
Not thankful this year.
But like no one says no to a 90-year-old. So
I would
like,
say yes
you
because
eat
they're good.
them.
I like
Ooh,
them.
I did not.
A new tradition for me that I started last year that I'm going to continue doing, and it sounds so simple and cheesy, but I quite enjoyed it. I don't really cook. Like I've never really cooked anything.
We're
I
well
make
aware.
eggs, and not as bad as this.
No.
But we won't throw up a pancake picture on the
Please
screen. Just because we don't want to have to put a warning before the video.
It's bad.
But I made
You lived.
last
I
year.
didn't eat them.
I followed a recipe, but I made corn casserole.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, that
for
sounds really
my
good.
family, and it turned out really, really well.
It's
and I stayed up
corn.
till like 3 a.m. making it, but I enjoyed that. Like that was fun.
Good.
Staying up Thanksgiving Eve,
Yeah.
working on it because we actually didn't take our Costco trip last year at that particular time, so I was able to do it. But that was pretty fun, so I'm gonna continue.
I
that.
enjoy cooking. Always in the kitchen with mom. I mean, growing up, I did cook and I did bake, and so I mean, I
cook
enjoyed
a lot.
cooking the turkey. So we would put it in the bag, baste it, do its thing, put it in the oven, take it out, and then we carve it up for Thanksgiving and make all the food. And before my grandparents got older and had trouble getting around, we would have Thanksgiving at my parents' house and my house, and so everyone would come to our house and watch football, eat,
Look through the ads.
look through the ads and newspaper, and so that was always a fun tradition that we had. Same thing
Sure.
with Christmas. We always come to my parents' house for Christmas
We
morning.
haven't got to favorite Christmas memories yet.
I wasn't saying favorite Christmas memories. I'm
That's the
saying how
most
it
jolly.
It's the
relates,
same.
how it relates to that. But now we do it in a bigger space so that all family can get together, and it's a little bit easier.
Your
for us to-
family is one of the most like different I've ever seen. Like both
Yeah.
sides of the family are there, if that makes sense. Like,
Mine
it's
are
just
too,
a-
actually.
Yeah,
that to me blew my
Well,
mind.
Thanksgiving, not so much.
But Christmas is
Christmas is
everyone.
different. Thanksgiving, not so much. Thanksgiving, we do get together, but not as we like a giant family. Christmas, it's kind of everyone for at least one party, and it rotates usually between
Whose house?
houses.
Not because for mine, they're all there because it's gonna sound incorrect when I say it, but when you actually look at the tree, it makes sense. Basically, my mother's first cousin married my dad's sister. None of them being
Holy cow.
blood related or anything like that. Now, as far as Black Friday goes, obviously we like to go shopping and things. Is there anything specific revolving around Black Friday specifically that you like?
Don't normally go.
Interesting.
No, not normally. I truly don't normally go. Occasionally, like my parents would say, mom was like, "Hey, you want to go get some stuff on Black Friday?" And we would, but we
It
wouldn't
surprises me. I'm gonna
get
be
up
honest.
super early, and we just like go wherever. Not really looking for sales, but not necessarily those people that have sale papers and go to certain shops that they know have sales, or go because they need this particular item at this store at that time. We never were like that. I would rather sleep in on Black Friday because I know that Cyber Monday is coming out now.
And that's
Yep, and I can order it from Amazon
A lot of people are feeling
for
that, I think.
just as cheap and come shipped to my house in a box, and I could honestly just wrap it in that box. And so
Fair enough.
it's much easier in life because I value my time, and
Fair enough.
but I do like shop. So let me back up just a moment to defend myself. So I do like shopping, and I do like going out and doing all that fun stuff. And of course, I love our trip pre-Thanksgiving to do all of that, again, fun stuff. However, convenience, and I also would rather not be around 15 billion people shopping on Black Friday.
Yeah, I have thoughts on that too, but I'll let Addie if you do any shopping or
Okay. Well, one, I am very anti-Black Friday on Thursday. I will just state that to start. I think family time is Thanksgiving, and people should be home and not having to work. I'm just throwing that out there because I'm very passionate
you're
about
talking
that.
about stores being
Thanksgiving.
open
Open
on
on
Thanksgiving.
That
Thanksgiving.
really
And
aggravates
I'm with
me.
you on that.
Okay. But I will say, like, I'm kind of like Jonathan on the Black Friday, but my favorite Black Friday ever was we spent Thanksgiving in Florida in a retirement home.
Mm.
And so everyone around the town was much older and I guess didn't do Black Friday, but their mall still did Black Friday. So we like got up at like 10 o'clock, not even thinking about it, and there was no one there. Every sale was still there. Like we came home with so much stuff and had no crowds, and the people that were out were like 80 or 90 and were like the kindest people ever. So like nothing like what's back home. So yeah, Florida Black Friday shopping.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. When I was a kid, the best tradition was my mother and her sisters would get up super early. They would go out shopping. My siblings and my dad would sleep in as late as we want, get up, kind of mosey around, and then we would meet up at our mall, eat at Chick-fil-A for lunch, meet up with them, eat lunch, maybe go do a little shopping myself as I got older and actually had money to spend. And I knew that I wasn't going to, as my gifts that I wanted got expensive for Christmas, knew I wasn't going to get as many of them as I used to.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then as I've gotten older now, that I do tend to, I like to sleep in, but I also kind of like the getting up and getting out there. Interestingly enough, when you're saying you don't like crowds, the last couple of years, the crowds have died down significantly.
Because
of Cyber Monday, you would have thought that would be a good thing for me. However, I've noticed two side effects to that. And one is that it's less exciting when you do get a good deal because you didn't have to fight somebody for it.
It's true.
Which is such a superficial thing to want, but I kind of liked the...
Steven takes down.
I not literally fight, but like got to get there early. Oh, man, I made it. Did you get it? No, I didn't make it in time. That kind of like back and forth, will this work or not?
Yeah.
And a lot of the time now, in my mind, the best deals now are online, so you don't get that. I like to go to a store and physically pick something up. That's me. I don't like to order things as much. Because even if they get shipped direct to my door, I like to be able to, well, I'm going to go out and I'm going to pick it up. I don't have to wait for it. It's here. It's mine now. And Black Friday deals, to me, seem to be less and less good each year because they know in stores they're not really going to sell anyway. So they're going to just do all that sort of stuff online, and that kind of just dampens the experience. I loved Thanksgiving evening. One of the traditions we had for Thanksgiving is we would bring in the ad papers with all of the different things in there. We would pass them out. My family would sit around the table. All right, who wants Best Buy? You know, those would be online deals. But, okay, who wants Big Lots or whatever? All right, here, take that. You can look through that. Hand to me when you're done with it. It was a family thing at that point.
Yeah, we did that.
And we were going around that. And last year, I just kind of sat there, looked like there was just nothing. Yeah. Like very little.
I don't even think they're paper ads as much either.
I don't like that. I don't like the ads. The deals extending past that day, right? I like it if it's gonna be on Black Friday. I like it to be like the experience of actually having to be on time to buy it versus
6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Friday.
But they're now not only are they online, they're like for weeks ahead. So it's like it doesn't matter when you try to buy it. The deals are deals, but there are though those Black Friday instances where the Black Friday deals are there. However, two things. One, I did mention that I liked to go and shop online because of the convenience of my time. Yes. But I still love a mall. I still like malls and going to malls, like Steven said, and going to shopping and walking around there. I do like to shop, but walking around and actually seeing stuff and going in. Whether I buy it or not, I enjoy that. So even though I like the convenience of going online, I think it's more because of the crowds that day than anything that I enjoy shopping on Cyber Monday versus actually going into a mall. But it's sad, though, that malls kind of are fading. Strip malls are still here,
right?
But, real malls are kind of fading away, even though we have a couple built, not locally, but built in the East Coast recently that are very large, and I would love to go to them one day, but
I don't fully understand that completely either, just because it's like, I get people want to shop online, like you said, and have all that, but there's such a, maybe it's just a novelty that extends because I kind of hit that sweet spot where I remember life before a lot of internet shopping. And maybe I just remember that and it's really not as important to anybody else. But I just feel like there's that sort of sweet spot of like, going out and actually being there. Oh, I found this here, and having it immediately when you go. Online shopping, especially on places like Amazon, quite frankly, where you can find whatever you want pretty much year round. You might get a good deal on it, but there's so much of, and I was literally just doing this tonight, you search for one product and you see like 50 different options. They all look exactly the same. They're all different prices. all sold from different companies. They all have basically the exact same reviews, and you honestly don't know what you're getting until, especially clothes shopping, by the time you get there, it's like, well, this is supposed to be a large, but it's clearly a small, and it's for a child. Like, that wasn't... So that's just less fun to me than actually going to a store.
Oh, I agree.
So, to wrap things up, we're going to kind of skip up. We talked about a little bit of Christmas, pre-Christmas. We're going to skip over that just a little bit. She's not happy about it. We promise we'll have you back on here to talk about Christmas, but we're going to want some Christmas topics coming up in December. We'll have plenty of time to do that. We'll finish up, even though we can talk about this in December too, we'll finish up New Year's. Always fun. Stay up till midnight, I assume.
Yeah. Used to have a big party at my aunt's house. They don't do that anymore, and I don't blame them. It's a lot of work. But now we just kind of go to my parents usually and stay up to midnight, watch the ball drop. But I'm not nearly as excited to see it drop as I used to be.
No, yeah. Actually,
and I've gone downtown before too in Cumberland, and again, that stuff doesn't really excite me.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. All that stuff's special and very interesting and unique. I just think of it as another day, and it happens when it happens. And well. So
for me, because I like all right, it's been a whole year. Look back on the year.
That's
think
cool.
About
I do
everything
that.
That's changed. Kind of think, well, in a year from now, what am I going to be telling myself then?
That's true.
About
I do that.
The year that's coming. So I like all that. The tradition for me, we go out to my grandparents' house. I know some people are different. They do things with their friends, New Year's, and some people do it with their family. Mine's always been family. Go out to my grandparents' house. Buffalo chicken dip is a staple of New Year's Eve. Always the best. Pizza and wings. Just a fun time. The thing that I've noticed, the ball dropping is always cool when you're a kid, and then you realize, well, it's just ball dropping. It doesn't completely make sense to me. That being fun, it's the really just countdown to the new year that's fun.
I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the show on TV. Multiple shows now they have on television of New York. That's kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
Kind of cool to watch. Just to watch them. Yeah. And to see that culture is cool of New Year's. New Year's Day though, we always had a family dinner. New Year's Day.
Okay.
So New Year's Eve, it was always a family party at my aunt's. They stopped that, kind of made it smaller now. Mm-hmm. We still do have a New Year's Day dinner with the family. Of course, pork and sauerkraut was a staple at that.
Interesting.
And so
I approve though.
So that's still all a tradition. But as far as the night goes,
I think too, you and I both, like when you're a kid, it's like it's almost a struggle.
Different.
It's a struggle to even stay awake sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you're excited.
Oh, absolutely.
You're up past your bedtime. Your bedtime as a kid is 9-10 o'clock. You're staying up 2 hours late. Staying up till midnight seems impressive. I accidentally stayed up till 5 a.m. the other night. Midnight's not impressive. Going to bed at midnight's actually going to bed early for me. So I think that kind of loses a little bit of its magic there.
Oh, absolutely.
Where actually staying up late is kind of...
They're like, are you gonna make it to midnight? You're gonna make it to midnight, and it happens at midnight, and you're a kid, and you just jump for joy.
Like
and
if
now,
I don't make it to midnight, I'm in the hospital.
Yeah, 2 a.m. is a normal bedtime for me, if not later. So, and Addy would disapprove of that bedtime, but midnight is early.
That's where
it's
I'm at.
It's super early
Addy,
now.
you've been awfully quiet. I know you're disappointed we're not talking about Christmas, but what do you have an opinion on?
I think mine has changed, which I think I like. I think I used to be like, I'm a way more of a people person than Jonathan. Shocker. He's better at like talking and being professional, but like I love crowds. I love to watch chaos. Okay, I don't want to be in it, but I like to watch it. It's my turn to shine.
No, hold on.
I didn't step on you.
Being a people person. We'd have to define that in another episode.
Pause.
In another
I'm
episode.
Friendlier.
In another episode.
Who's friendlier?
Okay.
I'm getting very aggressive.
I understand you're getting aggressive. I'll clear this up.
Hold on a minute.
I will clear this up for you. Jonathan is 100%, listen, a people person.
Thank you, Steve.
However, in those types of settings, I think he is much more of a let's just sit down, relax, enjoy the evening, quote-unquote intimate, more gathering type person.
Agreed.
I'm like
Whereas
a party
you
person.
are, let's get up, let's play a game, let's throw some whipped cream in the air and have fun. Like, you're not,
that's Addy.
I would say you're more party social, he's more professional social.
Okay, I'll take it.
He knows how to have fun,
Yes.
but you're not at all professional social.
No. Also, our definition of fun is different.
I'm still talking.
It is her turn.
I'm sorry.
Cutting you off.
Jeez.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
But, like, I think before I got married, it was very, like, we went to the Cumberland Ball Drop. That was so cool. But then, like, when we got married... Stop. When we got married and had our first, like, time to just be in our pajamas and not have to worry about, like, living up to everyone around me. Like, I think I'm more a people pleaser, too. But, like, just seeing that it could be fun, just the family, I think that became a special, like... I think when you get married, you start to have new traditions, which I thought would be awful, but, like, now I can't imagine putting on real pants and having to stay out till midnight.
Yeah. That could be a whole topic in itself, is marriage. Just have we ever talked about marriage on the podcast before? In depth?
Well,
It'd be fun if we had Kyler
the parenting
and
episode veered into marriage.
True. No, that would be a good episode.
Like, FaceTime.
No, but FaceTime Kyler and Piper in, and Stephen can moderate questions.
I'll moderate, or I'll just relieve myself for the episode. And
no, that'd be cool.
It was a weird way to end the year.
An episode, not the year.
Episode.
2022 has come to a close.
We decided.
You'll see this episode in about
Drop
8
the ball.
weeks.
Just slowly start taking the ball down.
Well,
10,
we are officially.
9,
We've done 1,
8,
2.
7, 6.
I don't know. This is what, our 8th episode this season. So we've already surpassed season 2, which wasn't hard to do, admittedly.
This year's good. I
But-
almost watched them all.
This isn't really a topic for like this
Pull it back up.
this episode. But when are we thinking the season's gonna end? What do you think? Season 3 go to the end of the year?
Well, you and I talked about this already, so I guess you forgot.
We did. I did
He
forget.
doesn't listen.
No, I listened, but
No, you don't.
Probably
The
not.
plan, we'll share it with the subject. We'll share it with our listeners. I'll relay the plan to them as I relay it to you. So
Thanks.
I think the plan is probably just to go to the end of the year. I'd like to.
Isn't that what I just said?
It might have been.
I think it would be
but I
good to
wasn't
go
listening.
into January and then you take some leave in February.
No, we're going to be
No.
recording some buffer episodes in January. So
Okay.
that he can take a leave in
in
February.
February.
Okay.
We've already discussed
Yes,
this.
we did.
He
discuss
doesn't
this.
remember it.
No, I do.
No, he did remember that.
No, I
part.
do. I remember. All of January we're gonna film
We
episodes.
are currently planning. This is the
This
final.
part's boring for all these folks.
Huh? No, I think watching you guys argue is hilarious.
How's the audio?
Oh gosh.
This
I need
should
a
be
drink after this.
the credits.
So
Credits roll.
I don't know
now
how
us.
much of this I'm even going to feature in it.
All of it.
Oh, sometimes we don't fight. Sorry.
Back me.
I didn't know you were bare legs. Go ahead.
So we're gonna thank you. We're planning on to end the season. We are planning the week in between Christmas and New Year's. Oddly enough, we're planning to do our first live stream.
Yes.
That's the current plan, which will probably involve multiple guests. Yes. Don't know how that's gonna work. Probably won't all be sitting here because that's a lot of people to maintain. But just keep that on your calendars if you're interested. We'll take comments. We'll be listening in, and it'll be all live, which will be interesting. And it'll close out the year. It'll close out the season, and we'll be back in February. Obviously, we still have at least 8 weeks in between
Till
then and
Groundhog's
now.
Day.
But till what?
Groundhog's Day.
And if that's not a note to end the show on, I don't think there is one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and what should they do to the notification bell, Addy?
Smash the pumpkin. That was seasonal.
So you guys are going to comment, actually. This is an idea that I had. Why don't you all comment what should the person do to the notification bell?
Ooh.
We'll choose the best comment.
We'll pin it.
We'll pin it, and we will say it in the next episode. Whatever wins the best, what should they do to the notification bell, we will post it. Or we'll say it in the episode. As always, we don't have an outro. Good luck, and we'll see you later.